and after the first session, I was talking to our director, Charlie Adler, and I said, it feels good to put this old diaper back on.
Rugrats, oh my gosh. Just one of the best cartoons of all time.
I agree.
Hands down.
I agree.
I started in animation when I was 13, and I grew up in Toronto, and I did a lot of American co-production stuff. I was on Beetlejuice and Care Bears and a lot of wonderful projects. But when I first saw Rugrats, I'm like, oh, that is different. That is really special. That is like this incredible show that has its own unique animation style, which they've taken to the next level in this new CG version. I'm sure like a lot of the OG people are worried, why didn't they stick to the old animation? But the new animation is so beautiful. It's like Pixar level gorgeous to watch. And so the adventures are even bigger and better. And if, you had watched it as a kid and you now get to watch it with your kids, it's pretty special.
That is absolutely correct. I did watch it as a kid. My brother and I watched our parents watched with us, and now I get to watch with my kids, and they were very excited. Like I told them that I was, my kids don't usually get excited about when I do interviews. Like for the most part, they don't know any of it. Like they don't care. And I told them that I was going to be talking to you two, and they were like, you both made me very cool today.
Get it.
𝐒𝐏, what has been kind of the response that you've seen from fans and audiences over the course of this, reboot? Because we're starting season 2 on April 14th, Friday.
I think people are just so moved, and they're so happy to get to go back to something they love so much. Because Rugrats didn't leave because it wasn't great. It left because it was done at that point. For that many years, they had done so many episodes. So now the fact that we get to come back and people will come up and see us more recently at like cons and stuff, they literally cry because it's so heartwarming to go back to something that reminded you of when you were younger or a child, and now these young people watching when they were kids are now young adults, and they get to go back to this thing that just makes them feel safe and cozy because it's familiar and everyone's included, and they talk about things that we're all very different, but Rugrats really embraces all the differences. And I just think it's one of those shows that they did it beautifully. They just did it beautifully.
Tara, what was your approach going into this, coming back as Dill Pickles? Dill Pickles is back.
Dilly's back. It's like riding a bike, it's like no time has passed. I was at my first session, and all of Baby Dill's lines are in the stage directions, right? He grabs Tommy's toy, he pulls Angelica's hair, he's pooping, he's crying.
All things babies do.
Babbling, gurgling.
Yeah. And after the first session, I was talking to our director, Charlie Adler, and I said, it feels good to put this old diaper back on.
That's exciting. I know that the animation, you guys were talking about the animation thing, and I know that was a bit of a controversial thing for some people, but I really agree with you, Tara. Like the visuals are amazing, and you can't do the same thing, the same old all the time. You know what I mean?
Now, most animation for young kids is CG, and the kids, that's what they're used to and they're drawn to, right? When we were kids, it was all the old style animation, and there was old cell animation, and the times have changed dramatically. And I think when it's not done well, you can tell. And when it's done well, you are in those stories with the characters, and Rugrats are masterful at that.
Oh my gosh, I completely agree. I feel like when it comes to sort of the cartoon reboots and things coming back, Rugrats has just been an archetype for the best way to make that happen. Well,
they did it. What they did that was so beautiful was they brought back all the original babies. So that in itself, just that one element, is going to make people feel right. Feel like they're taken right back to the beginning. Yeah. Only the beautiful, smart thing they did was they brought our babies and our adults. Obviously, the adults are now more millennial parents, and they put them in today's time. So like the new generation of kids can understand like what, they're talking about cell phones, and it's really nostalgic for the older generation that are watching it to be like, oh my God, our Rugrats are now have cell phones and dating apps. And just kind of brought back the best
I think they had cell phones before, but like now they're on Zoom. Now they're on Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom calls. And bloggers, they're bloggers, and they're,
It's amazing how the world, I remember, like for me, like my dad had a car phone, you know,
Yeah.
the antenna, you know, and the little, you know, like,
Yeah.
give me somebody.
We have dating apps now, like Grandpa Lou's on a dating app. Like, how cool is that? I love that.
He's
What
over
better
it.
character to put in that situation?
Yeah, right.
So good.
The best. Okay, Tara, let me ask you this. What do you want fans parents to know about what they can expect from Rugrats season 2?
Rugrats season 2 is bigger, better, more beautiful. It starts airing on Paramount Plus this Friday, and we have wonderful guest stars. Yvette Nicole Brown's coming in. And I think the thing that I want parents to know the most is whatever they loved about the show before is there. It's the same magic. It's these beautiful familial moments. It's so inclusive. Rugrats was the first show to include a Jewish family, a Black family. It's where kids learned about Passover, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Of course, representation matters. And I think Nickelodeon was on that before anyone else. And I think especially when the world has gone through so much and is so crazy, showing how we can all love each other is the most important thing. And this show's great at that.
Beautifully said. Thank you guys so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you later, Steven.
Bye.
Bye.